All right, I had some questions on the 64th ounce jig head. Just to put it into perspective what we're tying, that's a quarter. Small little jig, and we're going to kind of test it today. We're going to see how much we can put into that. These jig heads I got from Bass Pro. They were already tied with a little cheap purple feather. They were, I'm sure, come from China probably. What I did is I brought them home, took a knife, and scraped off what I didn't need. Got it all off. You can see there's still a little bit left on that. They were cheap. They were like 3-pack for like $1.50. I wish I would have bought more of them, but it was worth it for me to get those jig heads. That's where they come from. But we're going to put our base on. We're going to test this little jig and see just how much we can get in that. And we're going to do UV resin on it. We're going to do bucktail, and we're going to do some flash. But since we're dealing with such a small jig, we got to be careful how much we wrap, or we're going to run out of room. We ain't going to be able to get it all on there. So let's flash this thing up. We're going to go with like some type of shad color. Maybe gray on the back and some white on the belly. We'll put a little bit of flash in it too. It's a little bitty jig. Don't give us a whole lot to work with. So we're going to do white bucktail, which would be on the belly side of the jig. Remember, like I said, with the bucktail, you can always add. But on this one, we ain't going to be able to add very much. So we've cut our bucktail about the length of the jig, maybe just a little bit more. That's about all we're going to put right there, I think. Think about adding a little red in there too. If I can find my red bucktail. Almost out of red. Actually, I think I am out of red, but I got a little bit of strands up here. All right, we got just a little bit. It's got a little piece of red flash in it too. We're gonna strap that in. We got just a little bit of room for it. All right, now we're going to flip it over and we're going to put some dark gray bucktail on the top of it. I don't tie a lot of 1/64th, and it's kind of hard for me to even right now get feel of it on how much I'm going to need. We're going to pull it out of the vise and get all that straightened back out. Wrap it up real tight right there and get ready to do our whip finish on it. And that little jig actually took quite a bit. It's not a hard jig to tie. I think the hardest part of it is knowing exactly how much you want to cut off and put in it. Let's get our UV resin on, and then we'll take it out and take a look at it and see what we come up with. But as small as all these jigs are, I'm using this little needle piece, and I'm just going to kind of paint that UV resin on there. I got a little too much on it. See if we can't brush some of that down. I've got it evened out there. Just a little bit more right there on the neck. And you can see those are just very small drops I'm putting on it. So let's get our UV light on it, take it out of the vise and see what we got. And it takes roughly around 30 seconds, maybe a little bit less, to harden that resin up. And doing it like that, I can't really tell how good I got it on there, so I use a little white business card. That way I know for sure that I've got that UV light on there. And then we're just going to rotate it. Make sure we get every side of it. And when you do get it dry, it don't look like it's dry. I'm just going to rotate it a few more times to make sure we got it all. But you can see, you can take a 1/64th ounce jig that I got from Bass Pro, strip off what they got. If you're tying for yourself, strip off what you don't want and experiment with it. I mean, we put 3 different colors of bucktail in it, several strands of flash, and it actually really isn't that hard of a jig to tie. That's what we come up with. That's the tail of it. So you kind of got that bleeding shad effect with it. That's what we got. I think they come out pretty good. They come out a lot better than what I thought they would when I first tied the first one. I really figured I'd end up tying, 4 or 5 until I got it all kind of figured out. But that tie's pretty good. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Don't be afraid of the 1/64th, 1/32nd. They tie a lot better and a lot easier than what you think. Just remember, when you put your bucktail in, you can always add more. Once you get that UV resin tied in there, it's done. But that is all I got. I've had other people ask me questions about my vise. That's all it right there. Screws down to the table with that clamp. I've got this piece here that's adjustable, moves back and forth. I've got this piece right here. If I loosen it up, I can change 45-degree angle, whatever I want. Tension knob. But there is no name on this vise. I have no idea where it came from. A friend of mine gave it to me, and he said that when he was a kid, him and his grandpa would go down to trout parks, streams, and tie up flies on the bed of the truck. And I think it's where it came from, and I'm pretty sure it's probably old. I had to do a little bit of work to it, sand it, get the rust off of it, and kind of slapped on a cheap coat of paint. That is my vise. I don't even know if it's even made anymore. And I just kind of refurbished that because I was too cheap to go buy another one. But that is all I got for tonight. like I said, don't be afraid of the 1/64th ounce. It comes out a lot better than what you think they're going to. If you got any questions, remarks, comments, get a hold of me, let me know. Like, share, subscribe. Please share. The more I get this out, the closer I can get to going live, and maybe we could do like some live feeds with it. More, you know, you'll have the opportunity to ask questions as I'm tying the jig. But I also changed the name. Palm to Terra Crappie Company no longer exists. It's now Eric Massey Jig Company. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and of course here on YouTube. But if you haven't already, like, share, subscribe, hit that bell, and I'm out of here.